Welcome to the news on Niger Delta Television. I am Ebimesia Abba. Thanks for joining us. First and foremost, happy 65th independence to Nigeria and happy 29th independence to and happy 29th anniversary to Bayelsa State. First, the headlines: Bayelsa at 29. Governor Doyediri assures Bayelsans of 24-hour power supply. NAFDAC bans manufacture and distribution of flagyl and some other medicines in Nigeria. Plus, former DRC President Joseph Kabila sentenced to death for treason. Now the news in details. Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doyediri, said the procurement of a 60 megawatts gas turbine by his administration was a milestone worth celebrating by the state as it turned 29 on October 1st, 2025. Governor Diri also stated that when fully installed, the turbine would not only guarantee 24-hour power supply in the state, but would also create jobs and stimulate economic growth. The Bayelsa governor stated this in a statewide broadcast on the twin occasion of Nigeria's 65th independence and Bayelsa's 29th statehood anniversary on October 1st, 2025. While congratulating Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, as well as the people of the country and Bayelsa on the anniversary celebrations, Governor Diri expressed the hope of better days ahead. According to him, he assured Prosperity Administration continues to progress with landmark projects, including the 9-story State Secretariat complex that would provide efficient administrative space for public servants. Senator Diri equally stated that the ongoing construction of the 25,000 capacity stadium would foster youth development, as the facility would inspire young people and showcase Bayelsa on a larger scale. He also spoke about development in the education sector, where the state had recorded significant progress in academic performance and infrastructure upgrade. While admonishing the people to reflect on the state's and nation's history and hope for a better future, the Bayelsa chief executive urged them to review their collective commitment to unity and hard work. The Bayelsa governor maintained that the narrative about the homogeneous Ijaw state was on the upswing and that there was much to be grateful and hopeful for. President Bola Tinubu has said that in just over 2 years, his administration has achieved 12 remarkable economic milestones as a result of the implementation of sound fiscal and monetary policies. The president made the disclosure while speaking during a televised broadcast marking Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary, said his reforms were now delivering tangible results. According to him, under his leadership, Nigeria's economy is recovering fast, and the reforms started over 2 years ago are delivering tangible results. The president noted that the gross domestic production (GDP), growth inflation, agricultural production, and food security indicators were all showing positive trends and further revealed that Nigeria had surpassed its 2025 non-oil revenue target of 20 trillion naira by August. Tinubu said there was a major drop in the debt service to revenue ratio from 97% to under 50%, easing pressure on public finance. On tax reforms, the president said the focus was on broadening the tax base without overburdening existing payers, while highlighting Nigeria's trade surplus for 5 consecutive quarters as proof that economic diversification was taking root. Tinubu said that the naira had stabilized following the elimination of multiple exchange rates, which previously fueled corruption, adding that transport networks were expanding rapidly across the country, underscoring his administration's massive engagement in infrastructural development of the country. The federal government on Tuesday brokered a truce between the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASN, and the management of Dangote Petroleum Refinery. This was contained in a communique issued and signed by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Mohammed Magari Dingyadi, at the end of a two-day conciliation meeting and made available to newsmen on Wednesday in Abuja. The meeting, which held on Monday and Tuesday, brought together the National Security Advisor, Minister of Finance, Budget and Economic Planning, and Minister of State for Petroleum Gas, alongside the DSS, NIA, NNPCL, NMP, NNDPRA, NUPRC, and labor leaders. It will be recalled that the conciliation was convened after PENGASN directed its members to stop gas supply and withdraw services from the refinery. The union had accused the company of terminating the employment of more than 800 of its members, which triggered the industrialization. Dangote Refinery, however, explained that the disengagement of workers was due to an ongoing restructuring exercise in the company. However, it was resolved that the management of Dangote Group should immediately begin redeployment of the affected workers into other subsidiaries within the group without any loss of pay. The meeting also resolved that no worker would be victimized for participating in the dispute between PENGASN and the company. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has withdrawn the registration of 101 medicines and health products, declaring them no longer approved for manufacture, importation, distribution, advertisement, sale, or use in Nigeria. In a statement on Tuesday to newsmen in Abuja, the agency explained that some of the products were voluntarily withdrawn by their market authorization orders, while others were suspended or cancelled by NAFDAC. A suspension applies when the conditions under which a license was issued are no longer met, while a cancellation occurs when the agency revokes a license entirely. The delisted products include widely used medicines such as flagyl suspension and tablets for diarrhea, artemether lumefantrine formulations for malaria, penicillin sodium sandose powder for bacterial infections, Eliska eye drops, insulin and growth hormone injectables like norditropin, diabetes treatments such as Januvia and Janumet, as well as vaccines like Crimarex, Rispins, HVT. NAFDAC urged health workers, pharmacies, and consumers to take note of the changes, warning that any product without a valid certificate of registration is considered unapproved. You're still watching the news on Niger Delta Television. First, the headlines again. Bayelsa at 29. Governor Doye reassures Bayelsans of 24-hour power supply. NAFDAC bans manufacture and distribution of flagyl and some other medicines in Nigeria. Still to come in the news. Former DRC President Joseph Kabila sentenced to death for treason. Details of these and other stories after the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Niger Delta Television News and Current Affairs Department at the Ernest Ikoli Media Complex here in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State.
One of NDTV's traditional objectives is to disseminate information with renewed vigor. We build teamwork for accountability, efficiency, and accuracy.
Our community reports, eyewitness accounts, current affairs discussions are detailed and competitive.
As NDTV reporters, undiluted report is our goal.
We gather the news and bring it to you just as it is.
Our cameras are poised to get in the story behind the story in an in-depth news report.
Our new digital equipment are top-notch with clearer visuals and audio. NDTV is repositioned to serve you better.
Join us on the news every day at 7 a.m., 12 p.m. and our major bulletin at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25 UHF. NDTV, crystallizing the vision.
Welcome back to the news. The Southeast Food Governance Advocate, SEGA, has said a social media report claiming that former Abia State Governor Dr. Ekpezie Ikpeazu was sentenced to death for embezzlement of 5 trillion naira is false. This was disclosed in a statement signed by Mark Onukwe, coordinator, and Anozie Madu, secretary of the group. SEGA noted that Abia State did not generate revenue at the levels cited in the reports. The group also called on citizens to focus on verified issues affecting Abia State, including ongoing projects in the states. From the entertainment scene, veteran Nigerian Fuji musician Adewale Ayuba has broken silence on his alleged divorce and paternity dispute with wife Azuka Ego. For more on entertainment news, let's join Danjuma Daniela.
Veteran Nigerian Fuji musician Adewale Ayuba has broken silence over his alleged divorce and paternity dispute with his wife Azuka Ego. A YouTube channel, Nigerian News, in a report published last week, claimed Ayuba had discovered his wife's infidelity act via a secret DNA test. The report alleged that Ayuba divorced Azuka Ego following a paternity dispute. Reacting to the development in a statement issued by Bonsu Fuji Entertainment, Ayuba said the news is baseless and malicious, while stating that he remains happily married to Azuka Ego. Ayuba noted that their children's paternity had never been questioned. Sharing the statement on his Instagram page, Ayuba vowed legal action against the blogger, saying, "I will not allow my integrity to be attacked without consequences." Still on entertainment news, popular Nigerian comedian Bovi has finally disclosed why he parted ways with Basketmouth. The two prominent comedians have a history of stage collaborations before their interests clashed, leading to their separation. However, discussing his relationship with Basketmouth in a viral interview on social media, Bovi attributed the development to his perception of financial independence. While stating that he could no longer be sharing money with his colleagues after collaborations, Bovi noted that the decision has granted him the opportunity to grow financially. According to him, Basketmouth and I are cool. Nothing happened, interests changed, and I wanted to focus more and spend more time with my family and also to elevate myself. Finally, Nicole Kidman has filed for divorce from Keith Urban, ending their nearly 20-year marriage. The Oscar-winning actress made the filing in Tennessee court on Tuesday, saying their marriage had suffered irreconcilable differences. Kidman and the 4-time Grammy-winning country singer have been married since June 2006 and share 2 children, Sunday Rose, 17, and Faith Margaret, 14. The reasoning for their divorce is still unclear. The baby girl actress was previously married to actor Tom Cruise. The pair were together for more than 10 years and also have 2 children together. They ended their marriage in 2001. I am Danjuma Daniela reporting for NDTV Entertainment News.
And now to foreign news. Former DRC President Joseph Kabila has been sentenced to death in absentia by military courts in Kinshasa on charges of treason and alleged support for the M23 rebels. For details of these and more foreign stories, let's join Williams Bakerway.
A military court in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has sentenced former President Joseph Kabila to death in absentia after finding him guilty of treason and complicity with the M23 rebel group. The ruling was delivered on Tuesday in Kinshasa, though the 54-year-old former leader was neither present nor represented at the trial. Kabila was accused of working with the M23 armed movement, which was seized vast territories in the eastern DRC with alleged backing from Rwanda. Military Prosecutor General Hussein René Lukelia said Kabila collaborated with Rwanda to plot the overthrow of President Felix Tshisekedi, listing additional charges against him, including homicide, torture, and rape linked to M23 activities. Lukulia told the court that Kabila had coordinated effort to spring a coup alongside Colonel Nanga, a former electoral commission chief during the disputed 2018 election that brought Tshisekedi to power. The death penalty is the only just punishment for the crimes committed, Lukulia declared. Kabila political party rejected the proceedings, describing them as a political trial designed to silence the ex-president and weaken opposition forces. Observers says the death sentence may be harmed at preventing Kabila from rallying opposition groups inside the country, especially its exact whereabouts remain unclear. South Africa Economic Freedom Fighter EFF leader Julius Malema has been convicted of discharging a firearm in public. The conviction stems from an incident in 2018 when Malema was captured in video firing what appeared to be a live ammunition during the EFF 5th anniversary celebration in the Eastern Cape. The event sparked widespread criticism and raised concerns about recklessness and disregard for public safety. The court ruled that Malema's action endangered lives and undermined the rule of law, stressing that political leaders must set an example of responsibility. Alongside Malema, EFF official Imbu Sheni Ingloji was also found guilty of similar charges. The judgment has intensified debates over accountability among the South African political elite and the limits of populist theatrics in public space. While sentencing is yet to be delivered, the conviction marks a significant moment in South African politics, especially as Malema remained a vocal and controversial figure ahead of future elections. Supporters have dismissed the case as politically motivated, while critics argue that it reinforced the urgent need for stricter enforcement of firearm laws in the country. Authorities in the Philippines have declared a state of calamity in the southern province after a powerful earthquake struck, killing at least 69 people and injuring hundreds more. The quake, which damaged homes, schools, and public infrastructure, left thousands of residents displaced in urgent need of relief assistance. Emergency crews are continuing search and rescue operations amid fears that more victims may still be trapped under rubble. Local officials say the declaration of a state of calamity will allow the government to release emergency funds, control price of basic goods, and speed up relief operations. Hospitals in the affected areas have been overwhelmed with casualties, while power outage and damaged roads have hampered rescue efforts. Humanitarian organizations have mobilized to provide food, water, and temporary shelter to survivors. President Fernand Marcos Jr. expressed his condolences to the families of the victims and pledged full government support for rehabilitation and recovery. Authorities have also warned of possible aftershock, urging residents to remain cautious as the province begins its long path to rebuilding. Bekewe Williams reporting for NDTV Foreign News.
The news has come to a close, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doye Diri, has said the procurement of a 60-megawatt gas turbine by his administration was a milestone worth celebrating by the state as it turned 29 on October 1st, 2025. We also brought you reports that the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has withdrawn the registration of 101 medicines and health products, declaring them no longer approved for manufacture, importation, distribution, advertisement, sale, or use in Nigeria. And finally, former DRC President Joseph Kabila has been sentenced to death in absentia by a military court in Kinshasa on charges of treason and alleged support for the M23 rebels. And that's it all on NDTV News. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Ebimesaya Harper. Do have a wonderful rest.